Hey everyone, Bobby here with bippermedia.com. Thank you so much for joining our live stream on Facebook. I believe this is one of our first times actually doing 100% live, unscripted, coming to you. We just wanted to jump on, get this content out to you, and get this live event underway. So if you're watching it now, joining us live, thank you so much for being here. If you're seeing this later, thanks for checking it out. So, like I said, I'm Bobby with bippermedia.com, and in this presentation, I want to go over just kind of a general overview of Bipper Media, what we do, how we help clients, and then I'm going to dive very quickly into some very specific ways that our clients get the best results from the work that we do. All right, so that's kind of the overview, and let's go ahead and get started. So, first thing is the overview of Bipper Media. You can see here on the screen, this is just an overview of the types of clients that we help and that we work with. You can see lawyers, medical professionals, local business, realtors, home maintenance, restaurants, schools, churches. I actually met with who I believe is going to be a new client for us today. They're an HVAC company. They're an HVAC company here in Georgia. And when I was talking to them, they were asking me if we work with other clients, outside of the state of Georgia, things of that nature. And I was telling them about an HVAC client that we have who's actually in Saudi Arabia. So the way we work with clients, it's really all over the world. And the reason being is Google is Google. So whether there's somebody looking for an HVAC company in Saudi Arabia or an HVAC company in Atlanta, Google is Google. And the way we help our clients is by helping them get found and increasing their rankings and visibility in Google search. So we help clients, of course, here in Athens, where we're located, all over the state of Georgia, all over the U.S., and all over the world. All right, so that's kind of a makeup of the clients that we help. We also have, you see the learning experience logo on there. They are what we refer to as enterprise level clients. So they are a corporation. They have hundreds and hundreds of their daycare centers all over the world. They have centers over in London and the UK, all over the US. And again, it's just a reflection of when you're working and optimizing in Google search, how it's applicable no matter where you're located, no matter what type of business, no matter the size of your business or where you're located. SEO, getting found in Google search, is extremely important for you. We also have a testimonial here, which you may have already read. So we have quite a few testimonials from clients. You can also go to our website and find some video testimonials from clients who send in just a video kind of testimonial about their experience with us. So we're super excited about all the testimonials that we receive. All right, so let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so if you've talked with me or you've talked with our team about our method to optimization, the method to SEO, like the path that we follow, I always describe it as we have a very specific prioritization of the work that we do. I also describe it as effective SEO is all about knowing what things to do first, and then second, and then third, so on and so forth. So a very strategic approach to optimization is how you ultimately get the best results for your business. So here we are at what we refer to as step one in our SEO process, and that is the SEO authority boost. Okay, you can go to our website right now. If you go to bippermedia.com, you will see a form at the top of the site where you can enter your website URL and see your SEO authority score. So I would encourage you, go to bippermedia.com right now, enter your website URL, and you will see your SEO authority score. That tool is completely free. Okay, so and all you have to do is just enter your website and hit go, and you'll see your score. So the SEO authority score, we see over 2,000 scores a month. There's over 2,000 scans that we see each and every month. And the scores that we see are on a scale of 0 to 100. Okay, so if you run your site and you see a score, you might see a score of 10, or maybe a score of 1, maybe a score of 50. Scores are rated on a scale from 0 to 100. Okay, the higher your score is, the closer you are to 100, the more authority your website has. I refer to the authority score as really the size of the engine that your website and your business has in Google search. Okay, so the bigger that score, the bigger that engine, the more power you're going to have for your ranking and visibility in Google search. Okay, so I mentioned already we get over 2,000 scans a month. Of course, we see the scores from our clients. 99% of every score that we see is a score of 10 or below. Okay, so if you've gone in and you've ran your score right now and you came in at like a 3 or a 5 or anything below 10, don't be too discouraged because 99% of all the scores we see are a 10 or below. But that also speaks to the huge opportunity. We know from all the scans and all our clients, on average, this is very, very average, general. It's different in certain markets, certain business categories. On average, we see the highest performing businesses in Google search and Google Maps, their scores range between the 20 to the 30 plus level. Okay, so if you've just ran your score, or like we do when we talk to our clients, you're currently at a 1 or a 2, don't be discouraged, because that's what our SEO authority boost does, is it increases your score. And in most circumstances, we're able to get our clients up to a score of 20 to 30, sometimes even beyond, within a 60-day period. Okay, so you can see kind of the bullet points of what this SEO authority boost campaign does. Number one, you see it's a 60-day campaign. So what we're saying there is that if you started today and your score is a 1 or a 2, what we're saying is that your starting point is a score of 1 or a 2. At the 60-day mark, we're going to send you your new score. Okay, and in that 60-day period, you can see in these bullet points what we're doing. We're building 200 plus referring domains, which are backlinks. They're high authority referring domains, so they range from DR10 to DR80. They're 100% branded to you, your business, and your website. They are all 100% do follow backlinks to the target URL, which is mostly your homepage. And the branded and the do follow components of those referring domains, that is what really unlocks and drives the substantial authority back to your website. Okay, so, and like I mentioned already, when our clients sign on, they get their initial report showing their initial DR or their initial score. So let's say you're a 1 or a 2, you would get the official initial email from us saying, hey Bobby, thanks for signing on. You're currently at a score of 1, right? At the 60-day mark, then once we do that, we move into production, we do all the work that we do. At the 60-day mark, you would get another email from us showing your new updated score, right? So at the 60-day mark, I'm getting another email. Hey Bobby, it's the 60-day mark, so you started at a 1 and now your authority's at a 35, or your authority score is at a 30 plus, right? So that's the 60-day mark email that I'm getting. Now, just because it's a 60-day mark and just because my site reached a score of 30, that doesn't mean that that's the end of the story of my authority, right? As it is with all referring domains and all backlinks, they actually can grow and mature over time, right? So if I started a 1 and now I'm at a 30 at the 60-day mark, it's very possible and actually more than likely that at the 4-month or the 6-month mark, my score of 30 could actually continue rising to a 40 plus. Okay, but again, at that 60-day mark, we choose the 60-day mark just so we have a snapshot in time, and it's a sufficient amount of time we have found to really move the needle. Okay, so that's the overview of the SEO Authority, the Authority Boost. And again, this is step one because, as I mentioned already, I describe your authority score as the engine for your website, for your business in Google search. Okay, so let's say you currently have a score of 6. Okay, if you go and do all this other SEO work to your site, you build a bunch of pages, you start doing blog, this, that, but you haven't done anything to address your authority score, you will have done all of this other SEO work, but your score is still a 6. Okay, so if you went and built 20 pages and done a bunch of blog posts, that would be great, but the power, the engine that's driving the authority and the rankings and visibility of all those pages, if your score is still a 6, that's the size of the engine that's driving the impact of all of those pages and those blog posts. So that's why the SEO Authority Boost is step one. We've got to increase the size of your engine. We've got to increase your SEO authority score. That's why, from a prioritization standpoint, it's always our very first step. Okay, and then once we get you up to that score of 30 plus, now you have a substantially higher score. A substantial amount of authority has grown and been built into your site. Now we're ready to move to the next steps in the SEO process. Okay, and with that, we'll jump over here to the next slide. Before we get into step 2 and beyond, let's take a look at, we took a couple screenshots here of client results. Okay, so this is the before and the after that I was talking about. So you see this particular client, they started at a score of 6. Okay, at the 60-day mark, you can see their score went from a 6 up to a 30. Okay, and you see the referring domains. If you can see, I have my glasses and I'm challenged a little bit to see it, but you see that score of 6. If you can look down and you see that number 44, that is the referring domains that site had when we first started. Okay, or to say it another way, the reason this site has a score of 6 is because they only have 44 referring domains or 44 backlinks. Okay, now fast forward 60 days and now their score went from a 6 to a 30, but also look at that referring domain number. Okay, so again, the same process is at work here. The reason they now have a score of 30 is because they now have 403 referring domains pointing to them. Okay, and that's the work that we do in that 60-day period. We focus on building those high authority, do follow, fully branded referring domains. And when we do that, in this case, it took them from 44 referring domains to 403. That's how their score went from a 6 to a 30. Okay, so that's kind of the inner workings, the tactics, if you will, of how we actually do this for our clients. Okay, moving on, what comes next? Okay, so again, the authority score is the most important thing. That's why it's priority step number 1. Next, now that your score is much higher, you have a much bigger engine, now we can start executing on other components to really start moving the needle. Here we're looking at our local SEO campaign. By local SEO, what we mean is really simply increasing your presence, your rankings and visibility in Google Maps. So it's all about your Google My Business or your Google Business listing, which is the new name for it. We've just always referred to it as Google My Business. It's your Google Map listing for your business. Our local SEO campaign focuses exclusively on Google Maps and specifically on your Google Map listing. Okay. Now, a couple things that we do in the local SEO campaign is number one, we will gain access to your GMB. And we do that because we want to come into the GMB and make sure things like your category and your address and your business name and phone number, those key data points are 100% accurate and 100% aligned to your business, right? I know that might sound kind of elementary, but you would be amazed at how many businesses their phone numbers are wrong, or their address is wrong, or their website isn't even added to their Google Map listing. So those are some of the initial things that we do once we get access to your GMB. Once your GMB is 100% optimized, we then go out and we build, and you can see it here, we go out and we build 300 high authority citations, okay? Now, a citation, I kind of described it a little bit when I was talking about your GMB, but a citation at a technical level is made up of 7 specific data points, okay? This is a citation, 7 data points. So it's your business name, your street address, your city, your state, your zip code, your phone number, and your website URL, okay? Those 7 data points collectively are what we refer to as citations, okay? So we take your 7 data points, which is your citation, and we go out and we build, we're adding you to 300 high authority directories, okay? And by high authority directories, what I mean is the directories themselves range from a DR10 to a DR40. That's getting back to this authority score. So these are high authority directories. And number 2, all of your directory listings, again, what I said, point number 7, the data point number 7 is your website URL. It is linking back to your site with a 100% do follow backlink or a do follow referring domain. Okay, so the local SEO campaign in and of itself is going to produce 300 more do follow high authority referring domains. And I'll come back here to this screen here. The authority boost campaign, you can see, went from 44, this client went from 44 to 403. When we come in and we execute this local SEO campaign, we are adding another 300 high authority referring domains to your total backlink portfolio. Okay, so that is the local SEO component. That is one of the next steps that we would be moving into after your SEO authority boost campaign. Okay, moving on to what else we do for clients. What else we do once, and I'm gonna start jumping around screens to try to tie all this together. Once we get your score from a 6 to a 30, now you have that higher authority score. Now we start punching the gas on a bunch of other things. And again, if you haven't yet, go to bippermedia.com, enter your website URL, hit get my score, 100% free. You don't even have to give us your email address. Just enter your website, get it, you'll see your score within like 5 seconds, okay? So again, once your score is at a much higher level, we're gonna move on. We talked about local SEO. Let's talk about city pages, okay? So the best way I can describe city pages is Google search. I always talk about Google search as a very proximity driven search engine. Okay, what that means is, let's say, and I'll just, because I'm thinking of HVAC, let's just say I'm an HVAC company, I do AC repair services, right? Let's say I'm an AC repair service and I'm here in Athens, Georgia, right? My customers who find me more than likely are physically located here in Athens, Georgia, because it's summer, it's 96 degrees out, it's 100% humidity, my AC unit goes out. What's the first thing someone's gonna do? They're gonna pull out their phone and they're going to go AC repair near me, okay? That is going to show, this is the Google proximity factor I was talking about. Google knows exactly where you are when you do that search. Google is going to show you search results that are relevant to your physical location, right? Now, let's say I get on a plane and I fly to Las Vegas, right? And I land there and my AC unit goes out in Las Vegas. I pull out my phone, I do the exact same search, AC repair near me. But now I'm in Las Vegas. It's the same exact thing. Google knows exactly where I am, and it's going to look for pages and businesses in proximity to where I'm located. Okay, so that's what I mean by Google is a very proximity-driven platform. It's a very proximity-based search engine. Okay, it first looks to where is the person located when they're searching. Okay, all that leads into the very powerful component of city pages. Okay, so let's use Atlanta. I'm just going to stay with AC Repair Company. Okay, let's say I'm an AC repair company. I'm located in Kennesaw, Georgia. Kennesaw, Georgia is just north, I think, of Atlanta, right? Let's just say Kennesaw is just north of Atlanta. However, I'm an AC repair company, so I can help customers in Kennesaw, but I can also help customers in Atlanta and Marietta and any of the other 70 plus major metro areas that surround Atlanta. Okay, but my business, my office is actually in Kennesaw. So with that being the case, and I want to reach Atlanta, and I also want to reach the 70 plus other major metro areas around Atlanta, I only have a couple of options on how I can do that. Okay, knowing that Google is a very proximity driven search engine, I could drive around to Atlanta and the 70 other plus major metro areas, and I can secure a 1 or 2 year lease and open 70 offices all over metro Atlanta, right? For most businesses, that's unrealistic. I can't even imagine how much that would cost to open 70 plus physical offices all around Atlanta, right? But that's option number one, okay? Option number two is I could actually use Google Ads, right? And that's not a bad option, actually. I could actually use Google Ads, and then I could, in Google Ads, I could start designating the 70 plus Atlanta plus the 70 plus other surrounding cities, and I can start running Google Ads in all of those specific locations, okay? However, although not as expensive as opening 70 plus offices, that might be, at the moment, a very expensive venture for me to consider, okay? The other option is city pages, okay? So I can go in, actually you could have us, you could reach out to Bipper Media, we can build you 70 plus city pages. What that means is you're in Kennesaw, so like let's say your homepage is optimized for AC repair in Kennesaw, and then we'll build a city page for Marietta, for Buckhead, for Peachtree City, for Lawrenceville, so on and so on and so on. All of a sudden you have 70 plus city pages built in your site, every single one of them optimized for number one, your service, which is AC repair service, and number two, the specific city, the specific geographic area that you're targeting. Okay, that's the power of city pages, because let's say Lawrenceville, for example, we build a AC repair in Lawrenceville page for you, right? It's all about Lawrenceville. It's all about AC repair. In the city page itself, we have what's called location signals that are really drilling down the proximity component for Lawrenceville. Now, when customers who are physically located in Lawrenceville, Georgia, pull out their phone and they search AC repair services near me, again, Google instantly looks for pages that are built and relevant to where that customer is located. And now I have a city page built and optimized for Lawrenceville. My city page is going to compete at the top of those search results when that customer is searching for an AC repair service, multiplied by all of the cities that we deploy a city page for. So as you can see, city pages are a very powerful tool. Our clients have literally quadrupled, multiplied many times over the growth of their business solely through city pages. Okay, because again, a city page leverages the power and leverages the attribute of the proximity factor in Google search. Okay, it's a very powerful tool. Plus, it's very scalable, because once we launch a city page for, say, Lawrenceville or Kennesaw or Marietta, once we build it and we publish it and it's now part of your site, that's it. There's nothing else to do with that page. It's now scalable. Now what we can do is come into the page and we can start doing authority boost, what we call city page boost campaigns, which is kind of like the authority boost I was talking about to your homepage. We can actually boost the authority of the individual city pages. That's something more that we can do. But from a standpoint of publishing and deploying your city page, once it's live, it's live. There's nothing else to do. So that means a month, 2 months, 6 months, 3 years from now, going down the road, that city page is continuing to rank and continuing to compete in your market and your targeted cities. Okay, so that's what city pages are. And you can see kind of some of the points here. Standard is up to 1,000 words, long form up to 2,000 words. Basically, the more words, the better. Google thrives on content. So having long form content, that's always our recommended path, but it's not always the most affordable for clients. So they'll go with the standard package, but up to 2,000 words, it creates long form content, and Google thrives on content. I've already talked about the Google proximity factor. Google knows exactly where you are, exactly where everybody's searching, and Google always looks for pages that are relevant to where that person is located, right? So when you have city pages in your target cities, instantly Google sees there's a page relevant to where this person's located. I'm going to give that page more weight in the search results. And then this is super exciting. Like, you've all heard the buzz of AI and the whole movement of ChatGPT and all this AI stuff. Well, we have 100% embraced the power of AI, but we're a very specific use case, right? There's already billions and billions of use cases. Like, it's gone crazy, the amount of AI type stuff that's happening. We have a very specific use case, but it's working in a very powerful way for us and for our clients, and that is with the content production of the city pages. Okay, if you're interested in learning more and seeing how we are using AI content production for city pages and blog posts, definitely schedule a call, definitely reach out to us. I could do a whole nother webinar just on AI content, right? So I'm gonna try to hold myself back and not get too sidelined with this whole discussion of AI, but long story short, it's powerful. The way that we're using it, the specific use case to produce content that is super high quality, it's super data rich, relevant content for you, our clients, which means the content is very powerful and performs extremely well in Google search. Okay, so again, if you're interested in just learning more about, see how we're using it, definitely reach out. We would love to just sit and talk AI with you. So that's city pages. Let's see, what else on city pages? So I talked about the authority, Google Maps, city pages, and then continuing on from city pages is blog posts. Okay, you heard me already mention the very specific use case, the way that we're using AI for content production. It also follows through to the blog posts that we are publishing for our clients. Okay, so the value of blog post is it really gets to the consistency factor, right? City pages gets to the proximity factor of Google search. Blog posts speak to the consistency factor. Okay, and what that means is, let me just give you two kind of scenarios and hopefully it makes sense. Let's say you have two personal injury law firms in Atlanta, right? One law firm on their website, they wrote a blog post like in 2004. It's the only one they ever wrote, and it's the only one published on their site. They wrote one blog post, it was in 2004. It was an amazing blog post, but they've only done one and they haven't done one since, okay? Law firm number two has a website. They have a blog, but on their blog, they're publishing consistent content on a regular, consistent basis, right? Even if it's just one blog post a month, they are publishing one blog post each and every month, and they don't miss a beat. Okay? Which one would you think, knowing the consistency factor, which law firm would you think actually has more favor in Google search, right? It would be the law firm that's publishing the consistent blog posts, right? And it doesn't even have to be like, the objective isn't to like win a Pulitzer Prize in literature and these amazing blog posts. Consistency in Google search is a superpower, so to speak. It gives any website that is publishing content on a regular basis, it gives them a substantial leverage. And the reason being is Google's algorithm looks at all the sites, and it looks at the pace of new content production, and the sites that are publishing on a consistent basis, Google just automatically gives them more relevance and more prominence in search, because the way Google sees it is you're constantly producing new, fresh content. Okay, and that is the consistency factor, and that's where blog posts are a very powerful way to achieve that. And then, I've already talked about the AI power of content, the very specific way that we're using AI to produce content for our clients. Okay, with AI, we're able to produce, I mentioned already, but data-rich content and content that our team. So let me describe this a little bit further. So you might be thinking that we just have this AI tool and we take our clients and the AI platform spits out this content and then it gets published to your site. That is not what happens. So again, the use case that we will produce based on our client, their topics, their products, their services. Our AI platform will produce the content, but then it goes to our content team, right? Our content team now takes that AI produced content, and our team will now refine it and customize it and integrate keywords, integrate H1, H2 tags, integrate outbound links, integrate calls to action, right? So the AI platform will publish the content, and then our team actually takes it and refines it and customizes it for our client. Okay, that is how we approach not only blog post production, but also city page production and web page production. Any kind of content that we're producing with our AI tools, it's always a hybrid approach, right? And that's really the best way to describe it. It's a hybrid approach. The AI is producing the content that's coming to our team, who's then refining and customizing the content, looking it over, making the tweaks, making adjustments, optimizing it, and then finally publishing it to our client's site. Okay, so I know I covered a lot here. Let me see if I can just quickly go back through an overview. Talked about who we are, the types of clients that we work with. They're literally all over the world. The prioritization of SEO. We start with step one. We start with your SEO authority score. Again, go to our website, bippermedia.com, enter your website URL. You can see what your score is right now. Okay. Once we got you at that much higher level, we move on and we look at local SEO for our local businesses, which is the majority of our clients. We look at your Google Map listing, your Google My Business listing, and Google Maps. We look at the structure, we get it all structured, we build high authority citations, we're building authority for your business in Google Maps. Moving on from there, city pages are just a force multiplier to the growth of our clients' businesses, okay? And city pages, the power of the city page is that it leverages Google's proximity factor. It's a way for your business to be found in surrounding geographic areas, surrounding cities, and surrounding markets. Let me give you like an extreme example of a city page. We have a criminal defense lawyer in Savannah, Georgia, okay? The criminal defense lawyer told us when we were talking about city pages one day, he said that and forgive me if there's any criminal defense lawyers watching this, I might be getting terminology wrong, but I believe he said the municipal court and Savannah is where he gets a lot of his business from. And it's like driving, like, you know, a teenager or something got a ticket, so they're sitting in the municipal court and the parents or somebody's in there with them and they're searching for a lawyer to help them, right? Because they're about to stand in front of the judge or whatever. So a city page, we actually built, like, you can actually call it a municipal court page. We actually built city pages for the specific courthouses in Savannah, Georgia. And the page, following city page format, the page was all about the courthouse. We referenced major cases that we were able to find in that courthouse, added it to a site, optimized it for that specific, the municipal court, and the types of cases that go through there. And it's just been a game changer for him. Now, if you're there in the court, in the municipal court, and you search for a lawyer in Savannah, his page, it just dominates search. And I don't want to say he's getting every single call. What I'm saying is his page is now competing at the top of Google search for those very specific markets. So that's just an example of the flexibility that we have with city pages, from a very specific location like your municipal courthouse all the way to surrounding cities, you know, surrounding Metro Atlanta, for example. City pages are powerful. Then from there, we talked about blog posts. Blog posts, the most powerful piece, these being published on your site, is it leverages Google's consistency factor of content production. Okay, and I went into more detail on how the very specific way that we are leveraging AI-powered content that really goes across our blog posts, our city pages, web pages, a lot of different ways that we're using the AI content. So that is the overview of Bipper Media. Thank you so much for joining this live webinar. If this is on your computer and you got your phone, scan that QR code. Otherwise, go to bippermedia.com, look at the very top, click the schedule a call button. You see Ashley, you see Abigail here. Schedule a call, and we would love to talk to you, answer your questions, reach out to us, and we can't wait to hear from you. And thanks so much for joining the webinar, and we'll talk to you soon.